I'll just start with the introduction. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. If you go to my website, it's BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board, my boot camp course for toddlers, my boot camp course for 3 to 12-year-olds. You can look into coaching. I do have a big wait list, but I'll get to that eventually. Or you can listen to the podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube. Now, pretty much everything, all the videos end up on YouTube, evidently. My daughter does all that. So if you want one place, go to the website, BratBusters.com. But also YouTube's a good place to watch all the videos, and the podcast is on there too if you want to watch it. Okay, Tara from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Welcome. And Stephanie from Nova Scotia. Oh, that's interesting. 2 from Nova Scotia. Okay, I'm just waiting for your questions. Just before, I was supposed to start the live about 10 minutes ago, but I started watching videos of my granddaughter. I have her 1 day a week, so I take a whole bunch of videos and then I reminisce throughout the week. Just watching them. Aw. Just went down the rabbit hole again. So freaking cute. It's like, it brings back a lot of memories of when my kids were little, which is part of the fun with it. Massachusetts. Hi, Kelly. Okay, I'm just waiting for your parenting questions. I'll do my best to answer a whole bunch of them. So Kara, well, it says, Kara Sia from Australia. Okay, sorry, I can't read that name. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. Sorry about that. Okay, this is Stephanie. My son turns 3 on March 16th. Can I add him to our behavior board or too soon? 16th. Oh yeah, you could. It's usually like a couple weeks ahead of time is okay, but not much before. So yeah, you can start them on there. And when they're 3 to 3.5, they don't really get it at first, but they learn as they go. Okay, so they might say, I didn't know, I didn't understand. So if you've already handed down a punishment or a consequence and they say that, well, I didn't know, I forgot. Say, well, you'll learn as we go. Or you're learning, we're learning too. So don't stop the consequence, just explain it like that. They learn really fast when it suits them and not so fast when it doesn't. So they're clever. Don't underestimate them. People, this is interesting, and I've said it both ways. Parents tend to underestimate toddlers and also overestimate them. Don't underestimate their observation skills and their brain power, but don't overestimate their ability to stop themselves from doing things. Okay, they're just kind of crazy when they're toddlers. That's 16 to 35 months. They don't always have that ability to stop and think before they act, right? They're just trying stuff. So yeah, you tend to overestimate them and underestimate them, just in different ways. Okay. And also a huge mistake that parents make with teenagers is they tend to expect too much. You know, lower your expectations with teenagers. They're going through a lot, hormones and everything. And so lower your expectations of what you get from them. Yeah, it's really important. But parents tend to expect too much from teenagers. And yet too little too. Like they're really smart. I mean, they're just exercising their own independence and their own leadership skills because you want them to be their own leaders. You just come in for the big stuff. Okay. My twins are 2.5. This is Shane. They're so aggressive with each other when they snatch or don't want to share. They scratch, hit, pull hair. I'm trying to help them communicate. Okay, there's a few different answers I could give you here, but one of them is play with them a lot. Like what I mean is you sit down with them and you show them how to play. A lot of parents just want to stop the bad behavior, but don't forget to teach them how to do it right. So, and don't lecture it. They're watching. They're not listening. So here's how you share. They're not listening to any of that. You just do it physically. You show, okay, your turn. Now it's your turn, you know, and so you do it. Okay. Your podcast was great today about parent. Oh, thanks, Tabitha. My daughter makes me listen to almost all the podcasts now. She didn't used to. It's agony listening to yourself. But yeah, I like that one. I thought it was a good one. And we do podcasts every Tuesday and Thursday. And it's all on my website, BratBusters.com, if you're interested. It's really difficult listening to yourself because here's how I think I sound. And another thing is it, and here's how I sound. You know what you should do? Like, that's just awful. It's terrible. You act and talk like it's just so easy. You mean here and now? I'm 65. I've learned how to talk. So yeah. You mean on the podcast? Listen, I'll tell you something. If you're going to teach anything, you better know what you're talking about. I never stumble because I'm very confident with all this parenting stuff. But if I had to talk about accounting or anything, I would be stumbling and drooling and wetting myself. So, but yeah, if you're really confident and passionate about what you're teaching, it just flies out, So, no, in general, you act like it's just so easy. I'm a talker. I was raised in a very chatty, loud, funny family. So yeah, we talked a lot. Okay, this is Abigail in Floyd, Virginia. Our 22-month-old little boy has started to bite, punch, kick it. We're struggling with how to handle the behavior. He just mimics us when we tell him no. Don't worry about the mimicking, okay? You check out my free behavior board. It has 2 little mini courses in there, and it's completely free. One is for toddlers, which is what your child's at. So check that out, how you discipline, okay? You use consistent corrective actions. It's not words. I know it's trendy, all these mini therapy sessions discussing all their big feelings and big emotions. It's absolute garbage. It's crap, because that is your world. That is not their world. I enter their world. That's how I show respect. I enter their world. I teach them things in their world, not my world. Don't expect them to find their inner adult. You find your inner toddler. God, what a rant. Why did I go off like that? Anyway, frustrates the heck out of me. I was going to say something else. Yeah, because I know it's trendy out there to discuss all their big feelings and big emotions. And it's not that you don't discuss them, but not when they're naughty. I don't discuss bad behavior. I just deal with it, and then I have fun, okay? Once you're a leader, the bad behavior goes away anyway. You don't even have to talk about it. And what makes them mad and angry and frustrated? Your lack of leadership. That's what does it, okay? You don't need to discuss it. Work on yourself. Hello. Oh, hello from Seattle. This is Eva. Is it healthy to put timer on everything, like playtime, eating? Doesn't it stress the kid? They usually like it. Beat the clock kind of stuff. Yeah, they like timers. I wouldn't put it on eating though, unless it's a real issue and they're just dawdling. Yeah, but timers are very effective. I love them. I use it all the time when I'm coaching. This thing's always sitting with me when I'm coaching. Used to make a sound when I'd turn it on. It doesn't do that anymore, but it still works. Plus, I wanted to buy one that looked more adult, but you can't. They're all kid-like. I wanted an adult-looking one. I'd rather get an adult-looking one. If anyone knows of anything that looks, it's got to be like a visual timer, but a little bit more nice-looking. But anyway, yeah, timers are great. Kids love them. I have families who, when I'm coaching them, they'll buy each kid a timer. So each kid will time themselves doing stuff. So yeah, they usually like it. Gives them a feeling of control, right? And pride. But, you don't time everything. So that would be, I'd need the context on everything. It's funny because when I'm coaching, they'll often say, well, you say the opposite when you're talking online. And I go, yeah, there are exceptions to certain things, but I only talk generalities when I'm on here. Okay. But in coaching, there's a lot of exceptions. Depends on the parent's strengths and weaknesses, what they're going through, what the kids are going through. So there's a few, it's usually pretty consistent though. One thing I never change is when you're disciplining, you stay calm and you play. You can be goofy and crazy when you're playing with the kids, and which is what you should be doing most of the time when you're with them. But yeah, when you're disciplining, it's business. It's all calm, no emotions, no anger, no frustration. Never show anger, frustration, or disappointment with your children. It's just mean. Makes them feel bad. And remember, my goal is always you want them to feel good. They can be mad at you because they didn't get what they wanted or they had to turn the PlayStation off. That's okay if they're mad at you because you came in and did the right thing. I don't care about that. But you never want them to feel sad. There's a difference between mad and sad. It's Natasha from Ontario, another Canadian. My 3-year-old has meltdowns from everything. A toy he wants that a friend has, someone has a book he wants, or he wants me to pick him up and I say no. That's such a general question. It just sort of says that he hasn't learned how to control himself yet. That comes from you and your leadership. So you're not really training him. We're training you here. So you're a calm leader. And if he has a fit that a friend, just let him have a fit. Say, no, that's his right now. And let him have the fit. Let him process that not everything goes his way. I think that you're probably getting upset by his fits, which is what's feeding him. Okay. Yeah, this is Tabitha, who's a real regular here. And I'm a year in and still catching my deep sighs, my dramatic looks, and controlling my emotions. That takes time. It just takes practice. And my phone is crooked here, just a sec. It just takes practice. Do I sometimes feel like that? Yeah, but I don't show it. Okay. If I feel frustrated with kids, I can still feel it, but I know not to show it. It never brings something good back to you. It always brings more negative, right? I try and stay in the positive and the high road, the calm road, and let them join me. As soon as you look disappointed or frustrated, now you're on the low road with them. Okay. So let them join you. They're watching you. They're not listening to you. They're watching you. The first 7 years is when their personality is formed. I've been saying that for 50 years. Anyway, it's all done from looking at you. So there was this huge study done a couple of years ago. Over 50 years, they studied kids, and they said their personalities are formed in the first 7 years, and it's all done through observation. I've been saying that forever, and I'm sure tons of other people have too. But they actually did a study, some big scientist study or something. But yeah, they're watching you. They're listening a little bit, but watching will always trump listening until they're like 8, because they're coming out of babyhood and they don't have great communication skills when they're babies. So they're transferring from all physical and crying and all that stuff that isn't, communication, or it's not talking words. So they're transferring from that in the first 7 years. It's all observation. But think about it. We kind of operate that way too. What if someone said to you, "Oh, you're looking great today"? Would you listen to the words, or would you observe that face? "Oh, you look great. I've never seen you look better." You see, your body language, your tone of voice, your facial expressions, way more important than what you say. Way more powerful. Okay, sorry, I'm scrolling ahead to make sure you're still here when I answer your questions. Let me look on YouTube too. Sometimes I forget about YouTube because I don't have to touch it, but I have to scroll in the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, but I don't have to scroll it. That's why I keep forgetting to look at YouTube. Yeah. Good point, Tabitha. In the podcast, you forgot to mention in the podcast that sometimes parents are over-explaining because it makes us feel better. Yeah, you're talking to yourself, okay? And it's self-soothing, like you sort of feel good by explaining. And the reason is, and you think they're going to go, this is what you think is going to happen. In your brain, this is what you're thinking. If I explain it well enough, they're going to go, "Oh, I get it. Oh, okay, I totally understand. I won't do that again." It's never going to happen. I crack myself up sometimes. Okay. Oh, you're very welcome, Amanda. Thanks for the support. Okay, this is Amber. That's my favorite perfume, is that Namat Amber on where do I get that? Amazon. It's called Namat Amber. I shouldn't probably talk about it because I don't sponsor anything. But yeah, it's changed. We returned it. Used to be great, but it went viral and it was super cheap and phenomenal. But I got compliments everywhere I went on this stuff. It's just really natural smelling. But that Amber just reminded me of that. Really made me mad because it was my favorite perfume for years, and now it's just tanked. Anyway, I probably shouldn't say that, but I have nothing to do with the product. Okay, sorry about that. I went off on a tangent. Okay, Amber, I have a teenager that will take hours doing homework or missing assignments on her computer, being distracted with videos or computer games. Yeah, I do that all the time with work too. If I take away the computer, she will doodle, play with her pen, anything to drag out 30-minute assignment to 2 hours. There was no consequence from the school to not turn in on time. And she turns everything late after I've pressed her to do it. Okay, I don't know how old she is though. I'm going to say she's 14 just for the sake of this answer. Okay. What I would say was, when you're doing your homework, the computer screen has to face me. So I have to be able to see, just to make sure that you're not scrolling or whatever. So then say, as soon as it's done, then you can scroll for, and then give her like an hour or two or whatever. I don't know how much time you want to give her. But yeah, just, you have to have that screen facing you. Years ago, I was doing I used to do a lot of TV. And I was saying, what you do is because so many times this would happen, I'd tell parents, when you want your kids to do homework on the computer, you want to be in the same room. Do you know how many parents didn't think that the screen had to be facing them? So the next week when I went back on the show, it was like a morning TV program or the news or something, just as the parenting person that I was on there for. And then I said, I forgot to mention, make sure you can see the screen, because the screen wasn't even facing the parents and the kids are looking at whatever they're looking at, right? I said, no, you have to be able to see the screen. So yeah, just say it like that. And then if she doesn't get it done, there's no time to scroll later, right? You got to earn the scrolling. You're a grandmother. Well, I'm going to give you some general grandparenting advice. This is Esther. Esther. I never know how to pronounce Esther. Is it Esther or Esther? It's Esther, right? Being a grandmother, helping raise my 7-year-old and 3-year-old, I don't know what that means, and 3-year-old, what advice do you have for me? Well, as a now, if you're helping to raise them, I don't know, but the parents are in charge. So your job as a grandmother, as a grandparent, is to support the parents and to wallow in your grandchildren, right? So by supporting the parents, you follow their lead. You know, I do what I do with my granddaughter, and the parents are doing a very similar job. They're leaders. They're doing a great job. But if they ever said to me, by the way, from now on, can you do this? I would do it. It's their child, right? So respect and support the parents and wallow in your grandchildren. Okay. If the parents are struggling with parenting, I would not offer any advice. If they ask your advice, you might say, well, you know, maybe send them to me or someone else, or just, you know, it's kind of almost better to send them to someone else rather than you give advice if they're going to get defensive. Okay. You never want to upset them because you want to support them, because often, like, parents are very fragile emotionally when they're struggling with their kids, and they don't appreciate criticism, which is what advice is. If it's not solicited, any unsolicited advice is criticism. It's just the way it is. So never give it. Wait till they ask if they do. But yeah, I don't really have any advice because you're not the leader. I don't teach grandparenting. I teach parenting. Support the parents. If they're struggling, just support them anyway. What happens if their tantrums last 40 minutes? Well, I can outlast that. I can go 45 ignoring it. Depends on the age. If they're really little, like 2 years old, I might resort to distraction after about 10 minutes. I might go, oh, I'm going to go over here. You do indirect redirection. So you don't talk to them or look at them. They're still having a tantrum. I might go over and say, oh, this looks like a good book. I think I'll read this. And 1 fish, 2 fish, read. So you're kind of reading to yourself one of their books or whatever. And then the idea is they might come over and join you. Oh, 3.5 years old. Oh, I would let them go. I wouldn't do distraction. They're 3.5. Yeah, I'm just still waiting. But you still want to be nearby. You could be washing the dishes, doing inconsequential things, maybe writing a to-do list or whatever, talking to yourself while you're doing it. If you look at them or talk to them, you're feeding that tantrum. That's what they're after. And if you look upset by it, I would look like I'm almost bored. Throw a few yawns in. Oh, yeah, I guess what else should I get done today? Let me think here. Yeah, you see how I'm just waiting. As soon as they're finished, and by the way, you're investing in tomorrow with a lot of this. As soon as they're finished with their 40-minute tantrum, you go, oh, you all done? Do you want to go read a book? You try and connect. As soon as they're done, she starts up again. No, I hate you. Oops, never mind. And then go back to doing your to-do list, whatever you're doing. As soon as it stops again, oh, you ready for that book now? See, I'm gonna outlast them every single time. Every single time. That's gold. The chances of her continuing to have 40-minute tantrums will lessen as you do this. She's 3.5. They usually outgrow tantrums by 3 to 3.5. Okay, because that's when they have the ability to stop and think before they act. That's only if you're effectively parenting, like with leadership, right? They'll lean into it because they're happier. They're not happy when they're tantruming. Okay, this is from Kendallin. Is it normal that I tried teaching him to be more neat, but 6 years old is still really hard? No, it's not fair to expect kids to be neat. It's a nature thing. I was born a real fussy person, but it's just my basic nature. But I do have some basic expectations. Usually at 6 years old, my kids by the age of 3 had 3 chores every single day. One of them was, well, they had more than that probably, but it was sort of as things happened. Like they knew when they came in the house, they had to put their shoes away. We didn't really have jackets because they were raised in Australia in the tropics. But they had to put their shoes away, but they never questioned anything. They just knew by rote, this is what you do. After dinner, they knew to put their dishes in the sink or dishwasher or whatever. So they just knew what to do. But their 3 basic chores that they had to do was make their bed, put their laundry away every day, and put their dirty clothes in the hamper. Those were non-negotiables. And when I asked them to clean up, I would just say, oh, time to get cleaned up. We're going now. They just did it. If they didn't, there would have been a consequence. So, but the basic chores, here's the thing is I'm really fussy. I just was born this way. I love cleaning. I find it relaxing. But I never wanted to put that on my kids. My level is up here, and I think this is normal. Let's say this is normal clean. I'm up here, right? So I just expected normal from my kids. That's all. Like I vacuum and mop every day. I'm nuts. Clean the bathroom at least once or twice a day, top to bottom. Probably more. But anyway, I just love doing that. But maintaining clean I don't clean dirty, I maintain clean. But I never expected that of my kids. I think that's ridiculous. Neither of them were born this way like I was. So why would I? They're not mini me's, right? They had different priorities. Like they both love cooking. I hate it. Can't stand cooking because it just makes a mess. Ugh, hate it. And yet when I have people over, I do all the shopping and groceries. I like food prep. I'll do all the food prep. But you cook and I'll clean. I'm happy to clean up after company. But I'm not going to cook and clean up after myself. I hate it. Anyway, so yeah, don't expect too much. Just have basic chore chart. Here's your chore chart. If it's not done, there's a consequence. But also at 3 years old, I made it very easy for my kids. All they had to do was pull the duvet up. I did laundry every day. And I had I'm very organized. So I had all their socks. I rolled them up, or when they got old enough, they did it. And there's an empty hanger. So they only had one outfit to put away each day, right? And the dirty clothes in a hamper, big deal. Take them off, throw them in a hamper. Oh, how do you get them to go to bed? That is my bedtime battles. It's in my courses if you're interested in the whole process and how you deal with bedtime battles. But basically, just say follow bedtime routine. And then let's say they have to be in bed by 8 the next morning. If that didn't work out, then you say, okay, well, that didn't go very well last night. So here's your consequence. Don't punish at night. Don't hand out a consequence or even discuss it at night. And then there's a second part to that, how to keep them in bed. That's a whole other thing. You don't put that on the board. Okay. Again, I'm scrolling ahead to make sure you're still here when I answer your questions. How did you deal with the mess when the kids were little? I'm a minimalist. They had maybe 5 toys out at any given time. So picking up 5 toys, big deal. And also when they were really little, like 2, I waited till they asked for something. Miss Snack, food, whatever they asked for. Go play outside, whatever they wanted. I'd say, sure, as soon as we put your toys away. So they just learned you got to do what you need to do before you can do what you want to do. But because I'm a very fussy minimalist, it took them 20 seconds to put 5 toys away. And I had a spot for everything. So, and I rotated them. So, but there was a shelf that they could reach, and that's where all your toys go, right on that empty shelf. A piece of cake, right? They grew up like that. They didn't know any different. There was no mess. I would never have toys everywhere and expect kids to clean that up. I think that's mean. But 5 toys that I'm rotating all the time, right? And there's an empty shelf to put them in. I made everything very easy and doable. Like I said, I'm very organized, clean, minimalist, so my house ran like that. There was never a mess, ever. There was toys all over the place, yeah, but then there was only a few of them. They each had 5 toys out, maybe 10 toys. Or they could have a project toy. Like a project toy would be Lego or Duplo or blocks when they were little. That I consider that one. I would never expect them to put all that away. I might help them with that, the big stuff, right? But all the other kind of toys, those were the ones I rotated. I don't know why I get like this, but if I see you guys talking amongst yourselves and answering other people, I always get really nosy. What are you guys talking about? I don't know why, but I can't always figure it out because I have to go back too far. Okay. Some kiddos are in the spectrum. It's not easy, especially if you're a single mom. Yeah, that's I call that special needs. I only discuss autism or Asperger's or any child on the spectrum or anything special needs. That's coaching. I don't generalize with that because they're all different. They're very unique, especially with autism. And we just throw mud at the wall and see what sticks. And I need to know what's stuck in the past or what hasn't stuck in the past. Yeah. Are you AI? No, I'm not. No. Someone said they thought I was AI. Like they said, oh, you're real, because they saw me do a live. They thought all the videos were AI. Isn't that sad that everyone thinks that everyone's AI these days? Yeah, no, I'm not. We do use AI every day in our business, but mostly just to write stuff and answer questions that we're with business stuff, back-end business stuff. Oh, this is cute. This is the Lisa Roth. It's on YouTube. When my husband says something to my son, 4-year-old, my son will look at me to see if what my husband is saying is right, true, going to happen. Why is that? Because you're the leader. That's why. My kids would have done the same. Their dad, I was the leader in the relationship, and because it was easy for me, so they only need one leader. But yeah, if dad had said something, they usually just listen to him anyway. But let's say it was something they weren't too sure about, they might have looked over at me. So yeah, it could be you're the leader or you're the authority. So it could be a good or a bad thing. The authority isn't horrible, but I don't like that style of parenting. But yeah, could be a good thing. Could mean you're the leader. But also you want them to trust dad, because my kids would have trusted dad because they knew that we were on the same page. So they weren't likely to look over at me unless it was something they thought, well, mom wouldn't like that. But that was rare. Helping me with my granddaughter as well. Yeah, like I said, I don't teach grandparenting, I teach parenting, but a lot of teachers and a lot of my clients are teachers, principals, and child psychologists, but they're very different. That's a business. I couldn't do that, obviously, and they struggle with parenting. It's personal. It's very different. But yeah, some stuff does transfer over. A lot of stuff doesn't. A really common thing that doesn't transfer over, but super common for people to bring from this classroom to home, it's a total disaster, is the reward chart. Works beautifully in a classroom. Beautifully. It's not personal. There's 30 kids on there. It's all about, if you're good today, you'll get a gold star. It's different. It works beautifully in a classroom. You bring that home, disaster. Can't stand it. A reward chart for good behavior at home is saying to your child, you're normally rotten. If you should happen to be good, you'll get a gold star. Okay? Imagine if your spouse had that for you. Listen, I'm going to have a reward chart for you, and if you're good all day, I'll give you a gold star. Oh, that wouldn't go over very well, would it? Because it's patronizing and insulting. Yeah, don't do it to your kids. It's not personal at school. It just isn't. It's a different dynamic. Teaching is not parenting. Parenting is not teaching. I couldn't teach. A lot of teachers struggle with parenting. A whole bunch of people are saying, my son does this too, but I don't know what you're talking about because I can't figure it out. It's called, in Australia, it's called a sticky beak. It's like, what's going on? Sticky beak. Like you got your nose in something like a bird and it's sticking to your beak. Yeah. Well, you don't have that saying over here in Canada or North America. But yeah, I'm getting all sticky beaky. Just can't figure out what you're talking about. Okay. Okay, this is a very good question, and I'm glad you asked this. This is W. Ambrosia on YouTube. Hi, Lisa. It seems like the more I file my nails, ignoring the tantrum, and give her that tantrum space, the more comfy she's getting with tantruming over everything. What's going on? Something else is missing. I don't know what it is. I would have to figure that out. But yeah, this does work. Maybe you're not connecting fast enough after the tantrum. Maybe that's it. But yeah, I don't know. Or maybe you're looking angry while you're filing your nails, even if you're not looking at her. I don't know. But there's something else. Like oftentimes when I recommend something, people will say, I'm doing everything you said, but it's not working, but you're doing something else that's making it tank. Like if you were to throw timeout into my method, disaster. I hate timeout. I think it's mean. So yeah, maybe you're doing something else that really contradicts my methods that would maybe be, having that effect. Okay. Do you believe in spanking? No, it's spanking and yelling are things that you do because you don't know what else to do. Okay. So it's not necessary. No, I don't teach it. I don't talk about it. Could you speak on discipline when you're staying with family members for a period of time? Yeah, it's all the exact same stuff. I don't care where I am with my kids. I'm the same mom no matter where we are, except on an airplane. On an airplane, I would never put a plane full of people through a tantrum, ever. I would give them whatever they want. And they learn that's the only place that's ever going to happen, okay? But because I was a leader, they didn't tend to act out on planes either. So, yeah, maybe I'll try connecting sooner with that tantrum. Yeah, that's it. Parents miss that. And I can understand why. They go through this horrible 10, you're filing your nails, then it's finished. You're like, oh, thank God. That's not what you do. As soon as it's over, oh, you all done? Do you want to go read a book or do you want to go to the park? It's that fast connection. Then they're like, whoa, I get it. As soon as I stop, then they're going to talk to me. You see, it's got to be, they got to connect the dots though, fast. Okay, actually, I have to move on to Instagram. If you want to follow me over there, it's BratBusters.com. If not, check out my website, BratBusters.com. Did I already say that? No, I didn't. BratBusters.com is my website. BratBusters Parenting is my my name for all these social media. Sorry, I just say the same thing so much in these lives that I get all muddled up because I don't think about it while I'm saying it anymore. Okay. You can check out my website, BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board, my boot camp course for toddlers, or my boot camp course for 3 to 12-year-olds. If you want to work with me, that's coaching. There's a big wait list, but I'll get to it eventually. Or you can look into the podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube if you want to watch my daughter and I do it, because we work together, and she does all my marketing, all my planning. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I'm hopping over to Instagram now, and happy parenting. Whoops. I'm going to have to jump up and turn down my thermostat. I'm really too warm here. Okay, Instagram. Okay, YouTube, I'll be right back. It's like this time every night I get overheated in my place. I don't know why that is. Maybe everyone comes home from work and turns up their heat and the whole building warms up. I don't know. Okay, on YouTube, Robert, I've got a good answer for that. I'll just wait till I introduce myself here on where am I? Instagram. I'm just waiting for everyone to turn up. They turn up all in one clump on Instagram. The weirdest thing. Okay. Okay. Thanks for joining me. My name's Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. If you go on my website, it's BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board. You can look into my boot camp course if you want to buy that. I've got one for toddlers, one for older kids. You can get, if you want to work with me one-on-one, that would be parenting coaching. It's all on my website. There's a big wait list for that, but I'll get to you eventually. Or you can look into the podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. My daughter and I do it together. It drops every Tuesday and Thursday because we do 2 a week. And we save them all on YouTube. Everything's saved on YouTube. BratBusters Parenting on YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to get going with your questions. So I'm on, whenever I'm doing a live, I'm always on YouTube. That's where I save all the lives. And then I jump from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. But I've got a good question here from Robert on YouTube. What do you do when an 8-year-old boy doesn't care when things are taken away? We do very little screen time in general, so that is not typically an option. Yeah, we don't always do screen time. A lot of my clients have no screen time with their kids. So we find something else, and it's an activity or a toy that they do every single day that they really like. If you don't have that, then you invent leverage, okay? You say something like this: oh, geez, you didn't do the first consequence. And so when you have to jump to that second consequence where you take something away, you say, I'll tell you what, we were going to surprise you by going to the arcade tonight, but now we're not going to. And you do not owe them that. It's called inventing leverage. You were never going to go to the arcade. If you have another child, you have to take them though. And that's even more effective because the thought of their sibling getting that is a big deal and they're not getting it. And it's a surprise attack. You don't tell them ahead of time what you're going to do. It has a really big impact. Depends on, how hard you want to go. It might just be going out for ice cream, or the arcade's really difficult. That's a bad one because they really don't want to miss out on that. So you have to decide how hard you want to go with that. But yeah, so you're inventing leverage, and then you don't owe them that. If I'm good tomorrow, can we go? No, it's just going to be a surprise tonight. You do not owe them that. Plus, I don't do the reward stuff. That's ridiculous. If you're good, we'll go there. That's ridiculous. You don't reward for good behavior. Treat good behavior like it's normal. There's no award for good behavior. I don't walk down the street and someone comes up to me with an award. You were so good today, Lisa. Here's your award. They just expect it, right? Don't reward normal, which is to me good behavior. I treat it like it's normal. That's my baseline. You don't reward for that. I remember my son once said, I got a friend. I was at a friend's house today, and my son would have been about 5. And he said, they've got this reward chart thing. So if he's good, he gets a chocolate bar at the end of every day. And he says, he says, I'm good every day. How come I don't get that? And I said, sweetie, your reward is having me as a mother. And he went, oh, never mind. We had a happy life, right? So that is your reward. And I did get them treats every once in a while, but it was just a treat. It wasn't a reward for being good. It's ridiculous. Could you imagine your spouse saying, you were so good today, I'm going to give you a chocolate bar? How patronizing. I hate that stuff. Okay. Oh, excellent, Robert. I appreciate your support. And I'm glad I'm helping. Oh, that's why I'm on here. There's no freaking way I'd be spending my time doing these lives if I didn't think they were helping people. It's just no way. Hate wasting my time. Okay. Or no, that's not true. I love wasting my time, but I would just be scrolling TikTok, having fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but if I feel I'm hoping I'm helping you while I'm doing this. Yeah, that never saw it like that, but it actually sounds true. Think about it. If you're really questioning something you're doing with your kids, try and relate it to you and your spouse. You were so good today. I'm going to give you a gold star. What the hell was I yesterday? You see that it's not a compliment. It's an insult. You see? And yet you do it to your kids. You were so good today. I'm going to give you a gold star. Well, you don't maybe do it, but a lot of people do. Maybe someone's out there teaching it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like timeout. It's horrible. It's mean. You go over there and you sit in that corner. You think about what you did. Do you imagine your spouse doing that to you or a boss doing that to you? Think about it. It's horrible. Okay. This is from W. Ambrosia on YouTube. My 8-year-old isn't having the initiative to do his homeschool work, okay, on his own. How can I include this into what you teach? Is it bad behavior? No, it's just a lack of discipline. That's a lack of self-discipline to get yourself to do the homework. I would say it like this. Okay, as soon as you've done your homework, like nothing really starts. Okay, so many different ways I could go about this. I never really told my kids. I have no memory of ever telling my kids to do their homework. They just knew it had to be done. So, and I don't remember when they did it. They just did it when they felt like it. But they knew if they hadn't done their homework, certainly at night, that they wouldn't even have thought of going on a video game or anything. So if they wanted, we had fun at night, like we'd play games and all that, but they knew that you got to do what you need to do first. So the homework was just part of that. But we had fun. We had a fun family. So they liked having they would maybe get to play video games, or we might play games together. But they knew that that wouldn't have happened until the homework was done. I don't even think I ever asked. I just knew it was done. So that's where you want to go. You want to get there where you don't even have to police anything anymore, because you just know it's done. I remember once my daughter came to me. She was 5 years younger than my son. And she came to me, Mommy, can you please help me with math? And I heard my son, she would have been grade 3 or 4. And I heard my son in the other room start to laugh. And he goes, you might want to come in here. He said to her, I'm so bad at math. He thought that was funny. And then she went, oh, okay. And then, so she never went to me again with homework. She always went to him. Oh, that was funny. That my son thought that was funny. Anyway. I don't understand this. This is Rad Star on Instagram. Having one-on-one casual meeting. With who? I don't understand that. Anyway, my son is 26 months. He was tantruming the whole time, but more than I'd like. He didn't want to play with the 2 toys I bought. What can I do? I don't understand. So you're having a meeting. Okay, let's just set it up like this. You're trying to have a meeting with someone. So you bought 2 toys for your 26-month-old and you can't figure out why they interrupted you. Is that it? Let's just say that's what it is. Yeah, you can't expect to bribe them you can't expect a 26-month-old to not want to interrupt you. You just can't. It's kind of a big ask. They're going to want to interrupt you. You're talking to someone. I won't go into all the psychology behind that, but hey, you're having fun over there. I want to join in. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking when you're talking, that's fun. So maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, you can't really expect that. But that's the interrupting. It's very hard to teach a 26-month-old not to interrupt. It's very difficult to do. You can't bribe them with that. So that's what you tried to do, bribe them. I haven't got a lot of ideas because I'm not exactly sure what your question means. But yeah, interrupting, you got to lock yourself in a room, basically. You can't be in the same room with a 26-month-old and expect them not to interrupt. You could maybe get them going with some artwork or something. And I would maybe be talking in the meeting, and maybe the odd time I might be drawing with them. But yeah, they're too young to really understand business meetings and all that sort of stuff. So your expectations are out of whack with that. And you tried to bribe a toddler. They're not bribable when you're in a meeting or when you're trying to talk to someone. Oh, okay. Well, this is Spanna on Instagram. Any advice for my 5-year-old, please? When he's angry, he'll throw things or try and make a mess. Hard to ignore or look disinterested if he's throwing things. That I don't say you do that. If they get violent, you physically restrain them. Okay, you might hold on to him. You might just say no and hold him for maybe 30 seconds or something. Then let go. If he starts up again, you don't keep saying no. You just hang on to him again. You are physically restraining them if they're hurting themselves, hurting someone else, or damaging property. Okay, and then when he's finally calmed down, forget it. Oh, do you want to go play? Parents struggle with that, but it's so important. In other words, that didn't bother me at all. That's what you're saying. Didn't bother me one little bit. I still love you, and I'm calm as anything. It's so powerful when you get it right. But yeah, you just physically restrain until they calm down. But you don't hold them the whole time. You hold them, let them go. If they start up again, you hold them again for 30 seconds or so, let them go. It could go on for quite some time because they're used to you not handling it very well. So they're going to keep getting worse and worse and worse until they get better. We don't answer questions or comments like on videos, but my daughter showed me this video that this parent sent. I probably shouldn't even talk about this because the odd time she'll look at the comments or show me a video that she saw someone did. And they said, BratBusters help. And it was this really funny video. Well, not funny. I mean, it was frustrating for them, but it was killing me not answering it, just killing me. If you have questions that you want me to answer, the place to go for that is, unless you want to hire me for coaching, the place you want to go for that is on my website, and it's you're submitting questions for our podcast. I would have loved to have answered that question. And my daughter said, how did you know that? Like, it was just like that. I could have fixed that problem so quick. It was frustrating. And she had no clue. She goes, how on earth did you figure that out? Because it was a video of what this kid was doing. And I said, oh, what they're thinking is this, and this is why they're doing it. And it was killing me not answering it because we just don't. If we start answering we just don't have time. That's why. Even DMs, we don't have time for that just because we're so busy. So, and you can't hire people to answer those questions because it has to come from me anyway, right? But anyway, so if you want me to answer questions aside from a live, that's where you go, especially if you're submitting a video. I can't do that here, right, in a live. But anyway, that's the place to go. It was killing me. I said, just can I answer that one? She goes, nope. If we answer one, we have to answer them all. It's not fair. So I said, okay. Okay, how can you give a consequence when out and about? You just say when we get home. Yeah, when we get home. We'll talk about it when we get. Don't say, I'm going to give you a consequence when we get home because you did that. It's ridiculous. Just say, oh, okay, we'll talk about that when we get home. And let it go. Wait till you get home. As soon as you get home, oh, let's go to the board. See my tone? No anger. Let's go to the board. Let me see. While we were there, you hit little Jeremy. So and no hitting is the rule. So here's your consequence. Follow through when you get home. It's too big of a question. This is W. Ambrosi on YouTube. It's a follow-up to his homeschool work on his own. How can I include this into what you teach? Yeah, just there's incentive. It would be incentive. You know, the reason why we go to work is to earn a paycheck. The reason why we pay our taxes is to keep to stay out of jail. There's a reason for why we do everything. So maybe if he does his homework, then he gets to play with PlayStation for 30 minutes or something. So yeah, it's just it's something that happens, but you want him to feel like he's earning that, right? Yeah, give him pride, like give him something to earn. Don't say, do your homework. Okay, it's done. Now see you later. It's like, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, it's done. Great. Okay, here's your PlayStation or whatever. Okay, this is cute. Is it okay if my 3-year-old likes the board? Oh, yeah. They go yay whenever they break a rule. They go running there. Yeah, because you're on there too, and you're breaking rules too. Yeah, that's quite normal. There comes a time, though. Something will happen, and they'll fight back, or they won't like it. Usually. Not always. Some kids are just easier going, right? But yeah, there usually comes a time when they go, nope, I don't want to do that. But initially, especially little ones, they really like it because they get to punish you, and it's exciting. It's something new, right? It's visual. They're not supposed to hate the board. This isn't supposed to be negative. This is you setting up systems in the house where you're all accountable, you included. If you're not on that board, you're not a leader. You're just a dictator. So yeah, I don't do that. God, my kids loved it when I messed up. Oh my God, they loved it. Gee, Mom, you messed up. What do you want? We'd love to go out for ice cream tonight, or whatever it was. Usually the water slide park or something like that. When do you give consequence for bad behavior? Hitting during a tantrum? Okay, tantrum is not bad behavior, but if they hit during a tantrum, if they're over the age of 3, then I would say, oh, okay, after the tantrum's over and everything's calmed down, you say, okay, let's go to the board. You stand at the board and you say, okay, you hit me earlier. Don't mention the word tantrum. You hit me earlier, but I was mad. I hate you. Anyway, so your consequence is, see how they're arguing means nothing to me. They're just trying to get out of it. So they're being very disrespectful by interrupting and arguing with you. You do not need to address that. Don't get pulled into that. Pure manipulation. As soon as you say, yeah, but you didn't, as soon as you go into that road, now you're not a leader at all. And they know it. They've got you. They're in charge now, right? They've pulled you away from that board. You were discussing the board. They've controlled you. They've pulled you away from it. And now you're not a leader and they don't respect you. Once I'm talking about that, okay, so you hit me. So and then I might look at them while they're yabbering on because I'm not going to talk over them. So I hate you. That's not fair. I was mad because of that. Anyway, so your consequence is, you see how I'm on a trajectory. I've got a mission here. They can't pull that away from me. They can't weaken me. But you see my tone, there's no anger, total control, calm. Tough for parents to do. And I understand that, but that is your challenge. I can't help you with that. That is your personal challenge to control your own emotions when you're doing this. I cannot help you with that. You can maybe try meditation or whatever calms you down, right? Someone asked me last night, they said, what do you do to, regroup? Well, I work out. That's what I do. If I'm feeling, or I clean. If I'm home, I'm cleaning. Otherwise, I go to the gym. If I'm stressed out or whatever, I work out. Everyone's got something that calms them down. You got to find it, right? Might be reading, might be knitting. I don't know. Okay, this one's an easy one. This is YMEA. I can't read the rest. Okay. I have a 6 and a 10-year-old who I constantly have to tell them what they know they need to do. I have to repeat no, you don't. I have to repeat myself constantly, like shower, eat, bedtime, homework. I want them to do on their own. Yeah, you're just, yeah. Okay, you don't have to repeat yourself. You put it on a board. Follow, and just start small. Follow homework routine. Have a routine. You do your homework, then you can do that or whatever. If they don't do it, there's a consequence. So you have to finish your homework before 7 o'clock every night. If they don't do that, there's a consequence. The problem with doing that with homework is you still want their homework to be done. Sometimes they'll not do their homework and just would rather get the consequence, okay? So homework's a bit of a tricky one. So I'd like to use incentives sometimes with that one. As soon as you finish your homework, then you can go on the computer, or then you can have a screen for a while. So that's a little bit of a trickier one. But yeah, and follow chore chart is a good one. They have to make their bed, do their laundry, whatever you want them to do. They're older. So you have a chore chart. If they don't follow the chore chart, then they get a consequence. Homework's a little bit tricky. It's like they got to do their homework. So but yeah, I would never repeat myself. I'll tell you a funny story. My kids knew that we left every morning for school at 8 a.m. And I could see my son was dawdling. I think he was 10 or so. I don't remember exactly how old he was. Anyway, and he was dawdling. And so I don't micromanage, right? So I'm watching this and I'm just like, oh, this is going to be fun. So I said, okay, it's 8 o'clock, we're going. And I heard him go, oh no. And he came running out to the car in his pajamas. And he'd already eaten and brushed his teeth and everything, but he came out in his pajamas because he hadn't got dressed yet. And he's carrying his uniform on the hanger. It's all pressed because I used to have to press his uniforms. He comes running out with his uniform on a hanger and something else in his teeth. And he comes running out, and my daughter and I are cracking up, right? We're laughing. And we get in the car and he has to get dressed in the car. So he's laughing at this point too. So he's in the car, and I said, while we're driving, and it's only like a 5-minute drive to get to school. I was loving this. It was great. So I said to him, hey, hey, while you're getting dressed, if I see that seatbelt loosen, you're in trouble, mister. He got dressed. We were just he was laughing too. We were just cracking up. He got dressed without even loosening the seatbelt within 5 minutes while we were driving to school. It was hilarious. But yeah, you see, I turned it into fun. But I would never micromanage. Like, come on now, we got to go to school. Ugh. Oh. What's the difference between incentive and bribe? There's a big difference. It sort of seems like the same. And if you look it up, they'll probably say it's the same. Incentive is when you're doing something good to get something good. A bribe is when you're doing something bad and you want them to stop it. If you stop hitting your little brother, I'll give you ice cream. See the difference? Incentive is you got to finish something good before you, like your homework, right? Before you get something better. See the difference? But a bribe is when a bribe is when they're doing something naughty and you offer them a treat or something to stop doing the naughty thing. That's the way I do it. But if you looked it up, it'd probably contradict what I said. I don't care about that. Does that make sense? If you want to know more about how to discipline, you can literally just go to my website and look up the behavior board. It's completely free. And there's 2 mini courses and there's videos, video courses. I think it's written too. I don't know. My daughter does all that. I do all the talking and that, but she puts it all together. Anyway, and it has how you discipline toddlers, 16 to 35 months, and how you discipline 3 to 12-year-olds. I don't have a teen section yet. They're a little bit more complicated. The only place I really do teenage stuff is in coaching right now. We just haven't had time to put a course together for teenagers. Yeah, if you're repeating yourself, you know you don't have respect. You know you're not a leader yet. You just got to work on it. But I let my kids do whatever they wanted to do. But if they made a poor choice, there would be a consequence. See, that's the difference. But also, I was always the one in trouble. I'm accountable, right? They loved it when I messed up. Oh my God, they love it. And I did it a lot. I'm really goofy. So yeah, I was always messing up. I would forget to do something or whatever. They freaking loved that. So it was mutual. But I was still the leader. I'm mom. I'm the leader. I've got more wisdom. You know, we're paying the bills. You're not. You know, we're still in charge. But I wanted the kids to feel like they had control over their own lives. I used to say to them, if your good life is good, if your bad life ain't so good, I'll make sure of it because I'm my mom. I'm your mom and that's my job. Like I'll just come in when you make a mistake. But they already knew what to do. We had systems and they knew what time they should go to bed. They knew they had to get dressed before school. They knew they had to do homework before they could do anything else at night. So they just did it. If they didn't, then I'd come in with a consequence. That was my job. And when I did, I'd just say, well, that's, you know, okay, you didn't do that. So here's your but I don't remember ever disciplining them, to be honest. It was very, very rare. But I was in trouble a lot, which they loved. Okay, now, do you treat long road trips similar to airplane rides? No, I don't at all. Completely different because you're not disturbing other people. The only reason planes are the exception is there's no freaking way I would put a group of people trapped on a tin can, like in the air, through a tantrum. I think that is extremely rude and selfish if you can help it. If you can't help it, of course. But yeah, there's no freaking way I would put. And also, I never let my toddlers look over and talk to the people behind me. Very rude. No one really wants that. Then they drool in their food and because once you allow that, they want to do it the whole time, right? As soon as you allow something once, I just think that's rude. I don't want a toddler hanging over in my food. Or, you know, I'm just trying to relax on a plane. So yeah, just be very mindful of other people's space and respect that. So anyway, okay, I got to go over to TikTok now. If you want to join me over there, it's BratBusters Parenting. And I'm on YouTube the whole time. Whenever I'm doing a live, that's where I save all these lives. If you don't want to join me on TikTok, you might want to check out my website. It's bratbusters.com. You can get my free behavior board, my boot camp course for toddlers, my boot camp course for older kids, or you can look into coaching if you want to work with me. There's a big wait list, but I'll get to that eventually. Or you can listen to the podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms and we save it on YouTube. My daughter and I work together and we do the podcast together. She's the brains behind all that stuff. So she does all that stuff. I never know what we're going to be talking about. I don't operate that way. If I plan something, I'll just drool and soil myself. I don't like planning what I'm going to say. So I just don't operate that way. So she always surprises me with every single topic. So it's great. It's all fresh and she does a very good job with that. Anyway, I got to run. I'm going over to TikTok. Happy parenting. Okay, I might not soil myself. I exaggerate. Well, maybe I would. I always say I've got a really good self-defense. If anything ever happens out there in the street, if anyone came after me, I think I'd just poop my pants. Wouldn't that turn someone off? They wouldn't want to rob me if I was pooping my pants. That's my self-defense. I should probably teach self-defense. If you're going out at night alone, make sure you got a full stomach. Yeah, so you can poop yourself. Should teach that. Very wise. I'm just waiting for people to turn up on TikTok here. Okay, just waiting for everyone to turn up before I introduce myself. Oh, thanks for your support, Mama Mace. Cute handle. Okay, I'll get going. Cackling. It's a good self-defense, right? Would you want to hang around someone who just pooped their pants? I was just saying, if I was ever someone tried to mug me or anything walking around the city, I would just poop my pants because I figure what a great self-defense. Okay, so let's get going with a lot. Well, I think I should teach that, right? I think I should teach parenting and self-defense. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, welcome to the live. My name is Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. If you go to my website, it's BratBusters.com. You can, what a weird intro talking about pooping my pants. Anyway, you can check out my website, BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board. I crack myself up sometimes. Anyway, my free behavior board. You can look into my boot camp course for toddlers, my boot camp course for older kids. You can look into coaching. That I do have a big wait list for that, but if I'll get to you eventually. Or you can listen to our podcast. There's no wait list for that. We drop it every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube. I just want to thank you for all your support on that podcast. It's far, way outdid our expectations. The support's fantastic. We do that. Most of what we do is all free. We want to put a lot of information. I'll be honest. I really believe in what I'm teaching. I want to make a difference, This is my legacy in life. I want to make a difference. And, my main goal is not that you raise nice kids. My main goal is that you enjoy your family life. That is my main goal. I want you to be happy and have fun with your kids. I want you to say, parenting was the most fun I ever had in my whole life. That's what I say. It was the most fun I ever had in my whole life. Got these two fun little people that live with me, and I get to enjoy them every single day. We laughed all day. I was already a leader, so I didn't have to discipline them. When I got in trouble, they freaking loved it. And we'd end up at the water slide park because mom got in trouble. So yeah, it was fun. There's the odd little hiccup, but not much. I'll tell you, it was pretty darn easy. So, but anyway, that was my, that's why I'm teaching it, because that was my thing. I'm not good at everything. Of course, nobody is, but parenting kids were easy for me. So that's why I'm teaching it. That's what I want for you. I want you to have fun. That's my main goal, is happy family, fun, laughing, enjoying each other. I want your kids to know that they were wallowed in. I remember, I don't even ask anymore, but I remember I used to ask my kids, were you aware that I wallowed it? Yeah, yes, we know you wallowed in us. I did. I wallowed in those two little people, and they know it. What a nice way to grow up, to be wallowed in. Okay. Good for their self-esteem. And as they get older, they're teenagers, other people can affect their self-esteem, but you want to give them a really good start, okay? And this is the way to do it, leadership parenting. Oh, it's funny. I read it again after your last sentence here. This is Melissa. I'm struggling to keep my son occupied at 18 months. He's literally so busy. When you said so busy, I'm thinking he has a great social life. I thought, was he 18 months or 18 years? He's 18 months. Yeah, if you've got a really active, busy toddler, good luck. You can't fill that cup. They are just going to be active. It's just a very physical time, okay? You can't always keep them under control. Sorry about that, but it's the reality of having a toddler. They're going to do crazy things. I'm going to read my top 5 tips for parenting toddlers. It's just a stage. Your leadership doesn't really kick in till they're 3. That's when you really see the payoff. You'll see it by 2 and a little bit above that. And as in between 2 and 3, but when they're 3, they have the ability to stop and think before they act. but they don't have any impulse control at that age, at 18 months. Okay, this is my top 5 tips for parenting toddlers. I break it down into 16 to 35 months to me as a toddler. Number 1, child-proof your home so you don't have to say no. Number 2, set up a toy rotation system so they're never bored. That might help you a little bit. Or not. He might just be really physical, right? Number 3, connect with toddlers in their world, not your world. You don't connect with them at the nail salon. You go to the park and roll down the hill with them. They just look at you differently. They just do. Number 4, discipline toddlers in their world. It's the same idea. They're watching you. They're not listening to you. Okay, they're all about action. So you use consistent corrective actions with toddlers because they truly are not listening to you. It's all watching. Okay, consistent corrective actions. So you take, if they're naughty, you say one word, no, and then you just remove them from the fun or remove fun from them just for a little period of time, whatever's appropriate. And don't stop with these mini therapy sessions discussing all their big feelings and big emotions around bad behavior. It's absolute crap. It's garbage. I'm sure I don't know anyone else out there. I know it's being taught out there because my clients tell me when they come to me, they say, that's what they say to do. You discuss all the big feelings and big emotions. They're toddlers. It's absolute garbage. It's crap. You connect with them and you discipline them in their world, which is actions. They are not listening to you. They don't need those mini therapy sessions. It is ridiculous. Okay. Boy, I get off on that. It just makes me so mad because there's so much bad information out there. Okay. Number 5, stop trying to figure them out. They're not figure outable. They're brand new, fresh human beings. They're just forming. They might even go like this and smear poop on the wall. Can you figure that out? No. Imagine if you've only been in the world for 2 years. In the first year, you were a potato laying on a mattress. They don't have any context yet. They don't have any wisdom or experience yet. Okay. So stop trying to figure them out. Yeah, I really go off on that tangent. Yeah, it frustrates me because it's just such ignorance that, all these mini therapy sessions. You know what I hate is, I remember the first time I ever heard this, I thought, are you freaking kidding me? It was I'd heard someone say that they were being taught that when a child is acting out and screaming and tantruming, a 2-year-old, you get down on their level, you hold their hands, get eye contact, and you say, use your words. How ignorant is that? How patronizing. They are using their words. Crying, screaming, kicking. That is their communication. You're expecting them to find their inner adult? Be more like me. Oh, I'll never forget the first time I heard that. I thought it's got to be a joke. Anyway. They don't even have the right words. Yeah. Find your inner adult, you moron. That's what you're saying. How stupid are you? Be more like me. Find your words. Talk like me. Find your inner adult. God, frustrates the heck out of me. And you see their faces. They're looking right at you. They will often parrot back what you're saying. They're not listening. It's not getting it. It's useless. They're just trying to shut you up. They'll get that look. Yes, mommy. No, I won't do it again. And then parents will say, and then they hit again. Like, yeah, what's your point? Of course they did. They're not listening to you. Yeah, that frustrates me. You know why? Because when I'm coaching, I get all these parents who are really upset because they've done all this stuff. It's backfired, and now we have to fix it. What do you say instead of use? You don't say much. It's actions. You're not saying anything. It's actions. They're watching you, right? You can talk to them as much as you want when you're playing, goofy, playing around. But, they just look at you differently. Like I remember the other day, I have my granddaughter one day a week. She's 2. And we went puddle jumping. It was pouring rain. And I hate staying around the house, so I like to get out. So anyway, I said, okay, we're going to go puddle jumping. Let's get on your rain. And she knows she's not allowed to go in puddles except when she's got her rain boots on when she's with me, right? So she knows that. She walks around them and everything. She's really adorable. Anyway, so I said, let's get your rain boots on and we're going to go jump in puddles. Well, she was so excited. And I'm holding her. She's 2, so she sometimes falls. So I didn't want her falling in a puddle. But she was having a blast. But the difference is when I started running through the puddles with her, like really making a big deal out of it too, they just look at you differently when you enter their world. They just do. You don't just take them out and watch them have fun. Do it with them. Enter their world. Play with them. Copy them. Do what they're doing. Right? So I don't do it with every puddle, but every so often I would do that, because I don't want to get my shoes full of Her boots were full of water and everything by the time we got home. She had a blast. Okay. Okay, when do you teach kids to share? My 2-year-old is getting possessive with his toys. You don't teach them how to share. They have no empathy yet, okay? You just teach them how not to grab. There's a difference. And you sit with them and you play with them, with other kids, to start teaching them that. Or if they go to grab something, you say, nope, and you make sure that they don't do it. So, yeah. Yeah, the puddle jumping. Oh, we had such a blast. And she was just soaked. All her pants were drenched. And I didn't stay up too long because it was quite cold too. So by the time her pants were getting wet and her boots were filling up, it was only maybe another 5 or 10 minutes. You know what was interesting to me is I thought, oh, her poor little feet must be cold. But they weren't. They were hot almost. Kids have the best circulation. I wouldn't have taken her out for much longer than that. But gee, we had a blast. Okay, I started getting your emails. My daughter does all that. She does such a good job. Super helpful. And you know what? When she sends out the email, we are so committed to what we're doing. Pretty much everything out there. You notice we don't send out any just marketing emails. Every single email that she sends out has tips in it. She always says, we never send out anything useless. Whenever she sends something out there, there's always a tip in there. She's so good at all that stuff. It's just the two of us running this company. And we're very particular about what goes out there. We get offered a lot because we've got a huge following now. We get offered a lot of money for sponsorships and all that. We don't do that. And we may one day, I don't know. But for now, we're just here to share good information to help you enjoy parenting more. That is always our goal. Okay. What a great business to be doing a business where you're helping people. Because I'm not just into money. It just doesn't interest me. It's the helping people. If you happen to run a job where you're helping people, bonus, right? I started getting your email, super helpful. What's the earliest age to do the behavior board? 3. Starts at 3. You can maybe do it 1 or 2 weeks before, but even that, I recommend 3. It's just a turning point where they can all learn how to stop and think before they act. They can start to use common sense, start to develop common sense, but they can start to learn how to stop and think before they act. Starts at 3. Has something to do with the frontal lobe. They're starting to develop reasoning, okay? And they don't develop empathy until they're 3 years and 9 months. No, they don't have the ability to develop empathy, true empathy, until they're 3 years and 9 months. I've been saying that for 50 years. Now the professionals are saying that. It's 3 years and 9 months. I've just seen a shift. They can look at someone else and feel bad for them, but not from fear. Sometimes if you cry or look upset, they'll cry with you, but it's because they're scared. But they can start to develop empathy where if someone's really sad, they just start to feel it. There's a difference at 3. They don't all get that, by the way, but they have the ability to start getting that. It's all these little milestones. But 3 is when the behavior board kicks in. Okay, what do I do instead of saying use your words? Check out the free behavior board. It explains how you discipline. Okay? They're not listening to you. They're watching you. So take action. It's all consistent corrective actions. So if a toddler does something naughty, this is under 3, toddler does something naughty, 16 months to 35 months, you say no, and then you take action. Remove them from the fun or remove fun from them. Just for a few minutes or whatever, appropriate time. Okay. How do you guide your 13-year-old? Oh, I love teenagers. It's my favorite age is teenagers. I don't get many teenage parents on here, or not asking questions anyway. How do you guide your 13-year-old with social cues, with making friends? Role play. Remember, you can tell your teenagers or anybody even, how to go out there and act, but it's not going to work when they're out there. It's the role playing. So you pretend you're them and they're someone else and you show them how to do it and you go back and forth and have fun with it. Don't make it all serious. Have fun with it. So that's how you do it. It's role playing. If you're in a play or you're acting, you always do rehearsals, right? It's a rehearsal for life because it's like bullying. I do role playing with bullying, how you teach kids how to handle bullies. And we role play it. And once they've done it with you, it comes out easier under pressure, right? I remember this so well. I remember when I was young and how, if you see a guy you like, you're supposed to get eye contact and smile and then look away, right? And I can remember doing this. And my friend said, this is how you looked. You looked over it. Oh, so dumb. But I guess I didn't practice this enough. There was no role playing going on at home. So I looked over at the guy and I got eye contact, and she said I looked like this. It's the most horrific clown-like smile. And the guy looked, ugh, and he ran away. So yeah, I should have role played that, Maybe I'd be with him today. Could have been the guy. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, role playing would have helped me back then. Potty training at 19 months, yes or no? There is no specific time. Maybe it'll work, but they're more likely to regress if they're especially 18 months. Between 18 months and two usually. They often will still have accidents or regress. I've heard of that. I trained them at 18 months old, and then 4 months later, they're pooping on the floor. So, but they might not. They might just be really early to potty train. So nobody can give you that answer. They're all different. Some don't potty train really well until they're 4, even 5. Their downstairs isn't communicating with their upstairs, so yeah, there is no set time. But I do, in my course, I have potty training in both my boot camp courses. It's a whole system in how you do it, but I recommend 2.5. It's a really good age to potty train. And that's when I did both my kids. I was already a leader, so it was easy for me. But I trained my son in 1 day, no pull-ups, no night diapers, nothing. My daughter in 2 days. She just had one accident on day 2, and it was my fault anyway, because I just wasn't quick enough in the system I had. And but anyway, yeah, it was right away. But they were really ready for it. And I didn't want to have messes. I just wanted to get it done. And I don't mind changing diapers, so it didn't bother me. And my kids were in cloth diapers. So yeah, it was really messy, especially the poops, you can imagine. But it didn't bother me. I don't mind changing poopy diapers. I've talked about poop a lot in this session. I don't know why. Okay. Okay, this is Nikki from Florida. Hi, my son has a delay with social communication. He uses pushing, pulling as a form of play, but he hurts his peers and his siblings. Do you have any advice? I do have a behavior board to help. But you said he has a delay with social communication. Does he have some cognitive delay? Or just social communication? I don't know what that really means. So my answer might be different. Let's say he has no diagnoses or no real challenges. He just is socially delayed. Okay. Just not cluing in yet how to socialize. But also I don't know the age. I'm guessing by what you said, he's 4, 5. Am I right? He's almost 4. Oh, there you go. Oh no. See, I'm so good at that. I really am. I'm really good at guessing ages by the question. So anyway, so he's 4 years old. Yeah, he'll learn, but do role playing. Again, it's a really good way to show him how to play. Look, when you're playing with someone, do you like to be pushed or pulled? No, but this is what you do instead. And then have him, you go back and forth. You be him, and then you have him be the friend. You go back and forth. Have fun with it, though. Don't treat it like discipline. Treat it like just fun. I'm going to show you how to have fun with kids and how to make friends. Don't expect it to happen overnight, though. Take a while. And they will, they'll still go back to, sometimes they'll regress. And a lot of parents are upset by that. Oops. They'll say everything was going great. And then they regress and they start, that's quite normal. Don't get upset by it. Just stay on track, because the past often has a little visitation every so often. It just pops in for a visit every so often. Don't worry about that. A lot of parents, I just want to say this. I have to go soon because you heard my alarm go. I've still got lots of work to do tonight. A lot of parents have this attitude with their kids. I need to fix my kids. No, you don't. They're just a reflection of you. You need to fix yourself. When you lead, they follow. Toddlers are a bit of a crapshoot. They're just going to do what they're going to do. But past the age of 3 or 3 and above, their behavior, especially between the ages of 3 and 12, their behavior is just a direct result of your parenting. So you're not fixing kids. We're fixing and teaching parents here. You lead, they will follow. I've worked with hundreds of kids and teenagers. They all had behavioral challenges or physical disabilities or mental disabilities. They were all, they all were not easy kids, right? Or something was going on. And I managed to get respect with all of them. So it's you. It's always you. Whenever parents challenge me on this in coaching, they say, you haven't met my kid. I say, yes, I have. They just had a different name. right? But I've met lots of them. And then I always challenge them. I say, what do you think your kids would be like with me? And not one parent has ever not said they'd probably be better, right? So it is you. And that's good news. You can only change yourself anyway. You set yourself up as a calm, fun leader. You're calm during the storms. You're crazy during the rainbows, the happy times. Set yourself up as a fun, calm leader, and they will follow suit. Their emotions will calm down. Their self-esteem will increase. They'll enjoy you more. You'll have a better connection. So it's all you. That's the way. And even if it isn't, even if there is always going to be personality traits that are not, not controllable, whatever, but their behavior is what we're after here. So let's say they do have a personality trait that you don't like. Is it really that bad? Or is it the behavior, right? So separate the two. Their basic personality, we don't really want to mess with. Okay. It's the behavior, how they treat themselves, how they treat other people. Do they do what they need to do? That's what we're after here. They will follow suit. They're naturally drawn to a leader. They just are. Have you ever had a mentor that you looked up to, like a coach, a teacher, a grandparent, someone that makes you feel great about yourself? You kind of want to please that person because that's a leader, right? Kind of want to please. They make you feel good. You want to please them. Even as an adult, if you meet someone that you look up to that, wow, this person's great. They make me feel good. They've got a lot of great information. They're fun. You kind of want it. You're at your best with that person, aren't you? Right? So that's the attitude I want you to take. It's not your kids, it's you. Okay. Always take that attitude. When I was working with kids, they weren't even my kids, obviously, or teenagers, and they acted out when I was first getting to know them. I always thought, what am I missing here? What am I doing wrong? A leader always blames themselves, takes full responsibility, right? That's what I want you to look at. It's you, it's not your children. And you can change you. So it's doable. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Check out my website, BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board. You can look into my bootcamp course for toddlers, my bootcamp course for older kids, or you can get on the wait list for coaching if you'd like. It's a big wait list, but I'll get to eventually. And there's no wait list for our podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube if you want to watch us. My daughter and I work together. She does not work for me. She works with me. She is more in charge than I am with this business. She does all the planning and all the marketing. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me. Happy parenting.